From the roads you drive on to the water in your glass and the lights in your home, that's Monroe. Running a city of 40,000 people takes a lot of work. In each episode of Monroe Living, Our City at Work, we're taking you behind the scenes to meet the people making it happen. Along the way, you'll discover more about the parks, events, and neighbors that make Monroe shine. Welcome to Monroe Living, Our City at Work. Hi, and welcome back to Monroe Living, Our City at Work. I'm Lisa Hollowell, Assistant City Manager for the City of Monroe. And today starts a small mini-series that we're doing on the fire department. And you're going to see that we're in a bit of a different place today. We're actually at Fire Station 1. And if you don't know where that is, that's right below City Hall. So my office is directly above this area, so I get to hear every time that a fire truck is leaving, and I'm used to it now, but at the beginning it was always really interesting. I'd be like, what's going on? So I'm joined today with the Fire Chief, Ron Fowler, and I like to really start with asking what brought you to the city of Monroe and when was that? But before I do, I really want to mention the importance of public safety and the fire department at the city of Monroe. So we have a budget. We have a general fund budget of $72 million, and $17 million of that is the fire department. So we have almost 110 full-time employees, both firefighters and administration within the fire department. So it's a significant part of the city. Public safety is important. It's one of the most important things that happens in any municipality, and we're very blessed to have the level of expertise that we have with our fire department. So I wanted to ask Chief Fowler, what brought you to the city of Monroe and when was that?
Well, good morning and thank you for having me. So actually I am a native of Monroe and Union County. Been here my whole life, and as I was growing up, I always wanted to do some type of public safety work. When I graduated high school, I actually got involved with the volunteer fire department here in Union County. And I'd always had a goal of either fire department or law enforcement. And then in 1981, Monroe started the public safety concept where they combined the police and fire department. And I said, well, that would be a great fit for me because there I can go and do both. I can do the law enforcement side and the fire side. So that was really what drew me here, and just a desire to serve others and to do it here in my hometown and in my community.
Very nice. And can you talk a little bit about what it was like when you had police and fire together, and did you prefer one over the other? Obviously fire, since that's the route you took, but what was that like then?
It was very interesting, and actually I really enjoyed both parts of it, both aspects, the law enforcement and the fire side. And actually when I started, we provided law enforcement and fire protection for the city, and actually provided emergency medical service, ambulance service, countywide. The city did that through a contract with Union County, so we ran the ambulance service countywide. That was in '83 when I started, and then in '85, Union County started running the ambulance service countywide. I really enjoyed both. I really enjoyed the law enforcement side and the fire department side. And actually, it was a hard decision when we separated the two of which route to go. But I had really gravitated more towards the fire side. And I had a lot of opportunities and made a lot of good relationships during that time with the public safety department. That was from '83 until 1999, the city decided to separate the two. And I had worked my way up through the ranks of the public safety department. I was first started as a public safety officer, doing, again, part of my time would be spent on the street as a patrol officer. Part of the time would be in the firehouse. And Then I was actually promoted to a lieutenant. I worked in the fire marshal's office, did some fire code enforcement and fire investigations, and then was promoted to captain in the public safety department, responsible for the budgeting and some more administrative roles and purchasing, those type of things. And then in '99, when the city decided to separate the two, I just really gravitated more towards the fire side and decided to go that route.
And Chief, logistically, would maybe the morning you would be out patrolling and then afternoon on a fire truck, or would it be by day, this day you are working in police and the next day fire? Like, what was it like logistically? I've heard some stories about it where someone said, oh, they'd jump out of their police car, throw on their fire apparatus and go, but really, what was it logistically like?
Exactly. We carried our fire turnout gear, the fire gear that we'd wear and our air packs. We'd carry those in the trunk of our patrol cars. So we worked 12-hour shifts. We'd work 4 days on and 4 off, 12-hour shifts, either a day shift or a night shift. And with those 12-hour shifts, you may be assigned 6 hours on the street as a police officer and 6 hours in the firehouse, or you may have the full 12 hours either on the street or in the fire station. So basically, the way it worked, the ones there'd only be a couple assigned in the fire station, just someone to take the truck to the call, and the public safety officers in the field on the street, then they would respond to the fire, get there, put their turnout gear on, their air packs, and fight the fire.
Okay, interesting. That had to make for a challenging day and an interesting day, and never get bored.
It was. It would always be a busy day.
So no doubt, Chief, you've seen a lot of changes with the fire department over the years, and in your opinion, what have been some of the most impactful ones that have happened either through a council initiative or city-driven initiative? Like, what are some of the most impactful changes that have occurred?
Well, I think the big thing is growth, both growth within the city as far as the city limits, the population of the city, of how much growth there's been in these last 43 years. But then the growth of the fire department. When I started, we had 2 stations, which is now our Station 1 and Station 2. Station 3 opened just shortly after I started in 1983. Then when we separated the public safety department to separate fire and police in 1999, I was actually appointed fire chief then. When the city recreated the fire department, then I applied for the fire chief position and was appointed fire chief then. So then in 2001, we opened our Station 4, which is up in the airport area. They're on Rocky River Road and serves the airport. And then in 2003, we opened Station 5, which is up on 601 North at Maple Hill. And then we opened Station 6 in 2023. And with those station openings, there's been a growth of personnel, because again, when we separated the 2 departments, we started with 22 people, 22 personnel in the fire department. And that has grown to now almost 109 full-time and 2 part-time positions. So that growth has really been significant, and just the quality of the personnel. We've got great firefighters and great command staff at all levels in the fire department, from our chief officers, our company level officers, our firefighters. I've just seen so much growth in them and their abilities and capabilities and professionalism. So many programs that we've started since '99. One being the emergency medical program, that all of our firefighters are state certified emergency medical technicians. Two big things from the fire department perspective is that we were accredited in 2012 through the International Fire Service Accreditation organization. So that was a big change, a big improvement that we saw. I think there's about probably 20 or 22 fire departments in the state that are accredited. And then 3 years ago, we actually were able to obtain our ISO Class 1, which was also a big change that we saw here in the department.
Chief Fowler, what does that mean for us as a city, having that ISO rating of 1?
So ISO stands for the Insurance Services Office, and that's an organization that grades fire departments all across the United States. And that grading is based on a 1 to 10 rating, with 10 being the worst and 1 being the very best rating that a fire department can obtain. And what that means is the insurance rates, fire insurance rates in a community are based on that rating. So when an insurance company writes an insurance policy here in the city, they look at the city's insurance rating, and the lower that rating, the better that insurance rating. So that helps really all property owners.
On the premiums and the amount of
on their premiums, yeah, their fire insurance premiums. So whether it's residential for a homeowner's policy or a business, that affects their fire insurance premiums. And it does, in addition to helping with those premiums, it also gives a representation of that department's capabilities, because it's really based on the risk that are in the community, what's referred to as the fire risk in the community, and how prepared that fire department is to respond to those risks.
And I know all communities strive to be that number 1, and we're there, and that benefits all of us. So thank you for that wonderful job that y'all do and to get us there. So switching gears a bit to recent activities and things that are going on. I know that we've been trying, since I've been here, trying to figure out where will the fire HQ go. And now that has been settled, and the renovations in process for that. And what are your thoughts on that?
So moving to this new building over in the Winchester area there on Fairley Avenue is going to be a big benefit to us. One of the challenges that we have is logistic storage. We carry a lot of equipment on the trucks, a lot of small equipment. Everything from medical supplies to all the equipment that we use on fire scenes, whether it's, saws or rescue tools or ladders or fans. So we have a lot of logistic storage needs. The benefit with that building on Fairley Avenue, it does have a warehouse area that we'll be able to store, basically make our logistics area. It'll be like a centralized logistic area for the department, which is something we haven't had in the past. So that's going to be a huge benefit. And then we'll also move our administrative offices to there. So, our fire administrative assistant, our deputy chiefs, our fire marshal's division, our training division will all be there at that building. And I'm really looking forward to us moving in there. we've got a really good relationship with the Winchester community. We regularly attend the Winchester community meetings and have developed a lot of really good relationships with the community there, and I think it's going to be I think we're going to be a good fit in that area, and really look forward to moving in there. And that's projected to be. We're working on it now. We've actually have some equipment and supplies there in the warehouse area now.
I believe it's full, Chief.
It is. It is. We have a reserve truck there. We have a lot of our water rescue equipment there, and so we have a lot of equipment already there. The renovations on the office area will start after July, so hopefully by the first part of the calendar year, we'll be able to move in there.
I'm really excited about this office space for y'all too, and there's going to be plenty of room for training. So you're going to have a room for training. You've got conference room areas, and then you'll have opportunities to get your teams together, your fire marshals, your chief admin area. It's going to be really nice and something y'all have long needed, and getting out of the small space that you're in right now. So I've looked at those plans, and I'm excited at what I'm seeing, so I can't wait for us to get started on that through property management and get y'all moved in, because we have a lot of movement going on this fall, and several buildings coming online, so it's going to be a fun fall, I think. Now you're also undertaking right now a major refresh for all of your fire stations.
We're doing a major refresh for all the stations. So we have 6 fire stations, and if you think about it, a fire station is much like a home, because literally our firefighters live there. I mean, they work 24-hour shifts, so they'll come on at 6 o'clock in the morning and work until 6 o'clock the next morning, and so they eat there, they sleep there, they do laundry there, they cook there, all the things that you would do at a home, they're doing there. So with that, there are a lot of moving parts and a lot of maintenance needs at those fire stations. If you think about the age of our stations, Fire Station 2 was built in 1968. Station 1 was built in 74. Station 3 was in 83. So if you think about the age of those, just over time, they have gotten in need of some refreshing. And that's exactly what we're doing. And we're doing something at each of the 6 stations. Some stations are receiving more attention than others because some needed more than others. So we're glad to get that done. We're certainly grateful for the city to appropriate those funds for us to be able to do that. And those projects are nearing completion now. In fact, they're almost complete in all the stations. We're still working at Station 1, the station here. And so once those are complete, we're really excited about those and be really excited to get it all finished up.
So I'm thinking in my mind about the greatest transformation, which station had the greatest transformation, and I'm thinking of a number. Which station are you thinking of?
I think the greatest transformation was Station 3.
Yeah, me too.
It was just it just had the greatest needs. And then following it would be Station 2, which was, again, it's just because of the age and that type. But yeah, Station 3 was the greatest transformation.
It looks amazing.
It really looks good. It really looks nice. It's hard to compare if you didn't see it beforehand, but it looks really nice, and happy to get that done.
And while we have this somewhat still new property management department that will be doing routine preventative maintenance on buildings, and that's something that we really didn't have before. That's going to be helpful moving forward. But I think what a lot of people don't know is that how much the firefighters do at their own stations and what they do to maintain and themselves, and I think that's pretty impressive. And is there anything you want to say about that?
You know, our firefighters have a lot of pride in their equipment, in their stations, and again, it's home. I mean, it's home to them, and all the time we refer to them as firehouses instead of fire stations, just because it is their home or away from home. So I certainly really appreciate all of our folks and are proud of all of them for what they do in keeping them looking good, because in addition to it being their home away from home, it's also, I mean, it's the community's fire station, and we have a lot of visitors, we have a lot of tours, we have a lot of school groups, children coming through to visit the fire station, and we want it to look nice for them and something that the community can be proud of.
And I think definitely the community is, and the city loves the fire departments or the fire stations. Now moving forward, what are the things you're really looking forward to over this next year and the near future for changes with the fire department or anything on the horizon?
So we're looking at, as we mentioned, the movement of fire administration. That'll be a big big benefit for us to get in that new building and be able to have the room that we need for our admin. Because really there's a lot of space needs that we have currently where we are. So once we get in that new building, that's going to be a big benefit. Also be utilizing more of the space here at City Hall on the first floor, which is also some very much needed. So that's going to be good for us in this coming year. So we look forward to that happening. We do have a new rescue truck that's due to arrive in December. That will replace our current rescue truck, and it'll be stationed over at Fire Station 5, which is up on 601 at Maple Hill Road. And on that rescue truck, it responds, it has a company of 4 firefighters assigned to it, responds to any type of technical rescue situation, whether it's a vehicle extrication or a high angle rescue or a confined space rescue at any of our industries, water rescue. So that's, and this new truck will have a lot of additional equipment that we, newer equipment. So that's going to be good to get that in service, and we look forward to that coming.
Are you fully staffed? Do you have any vacancies right now? I know typically you keep pretty close to being full, but how does it look right now?
So we actually, as of today, we have 3 vacancies. We actually just had a Battalion Chief Rodney Cheney retired yesterday, was his last day. Retired with 38 years of service to the city. And we certainly appreciate Chief Cheney and his service that he provided to the city. And I think that says something about the fact that he chose to serve for 38 years. I mean, it says a lot about him and his commitment to the community and his commitment to the department. So anyway, we do have that position that with his retirement opens up a position. We've had 2 other retirements in the last 4 months. We do have a recruit class that graduates today. I'm really excited about that. We have 9 new firefighters recruits that started back in February. So they're just completing their recruit program. We will be recruiting later in the later this summer, early fall. We'll open the process up and be recruiting, and we'll fill those vacancies. We'll put them through a recruit process and be ready to put them on a truck.
Okay, good. And that is quite an accomplishment to have such few vacancies on a regular basis. I know that in the budget this year, y'all were able to, get a pay structure change. And would you talk a couple minutes about that and the importance of that to the fire department and retaining our firefighters and attracting new ones?
Sure, absolutely. We did get approved this year that a market adjustment for the department, and we're certainly very, very happy about that, very pleased about that, grateful that for the city administration and the council for approving that. And our goal is one, to pay our firefighters a fair wage for what they do, and also to be competitive in the area, because we don't want to lose potential applicants to a neighboring department. We don't want to lose existing firefighters to a neighboring department. So really, from a recruitment and retention perspective, I think this market adjustment, salary adjustment that we did is huge for that. And I think it's, I know our firefighters certainly appreciate it, and I think it means a lot to them from a morale standpoint, and so we're really pleased about that too. So, that's right.
Is this the largest adjustment that you've seen since you've been here as far as this market adjustment?
It is, yes.
Okay,
it is.
that's good.
It is.
No doubt, Chief Fowler, you have touched countless lives through your career, when you were police side, then fire side, and standing up. The new department that you stood up when fire broke away from police. So this has all been very. You've had an impressive career, and I appreciate your time today. And are there any particular incidents over the years that stand out to you that you'd like to let us know about? Again, I know you've had countless encounters and all of that, but any special kitten that you rescued from a roof or anything that stands out that you'd like to share?
But I think probably the biggest thing is, for me, is just the relationships that I've built over the years, and getting to know other people. And we have done a lot over these last 25 plus years, but it certainly hasn't all been me. It's so many good people with the fire department that are currently here, or those who have retired, that have put so much work and effort into making the department what it is today, and those that are working today and making us, again, what we are, and because they're the ones that are out providing that service every day to our community and responding to those emergencies and those needs. Oftentimes, very often, when we respond, it's maybe the worst day in that person's life that they're dealing with. So I really appreciate our firefighters and what they do, and in meeting those needs and responding to those needs. I will tell you one story I remember that had a really good ending. I was out on Highway 74 one day, and I saw a young child walking along the side of 74, and when I first saw the child, I assumed someone was with her, and as I looked back, I realized she was by herself, and so I stopped, literally just there in the middle of 74, because I couldn't get over off the road, and I didn't want her to. She was walking down the side of the road, and So I stopped, and they literally stopped traffic, and I was in my fire vehicle and walked over to her and started talking to her, and it was a little girl and I asked her, I said, where are you going? And she said, well, I'm going to she told me she was going to the department store down the road, and I said, okay. I said, so I got her and I brought her over to my vehicle and got her out of the road, and we got pulled over in a parking lot and started talking. And so I asked her, I said, how old are you? She said, I'm 5. I said, okay. I said, tell me where you're going. She said, well, I'm going to the department store to, it was a certain doll that she wanted to buy. And she said, I really need one of these dolls. And I said, okay. I said, does your mommy and daddy know where you are? And she said, well, no. So my mommy's at work, so my daddy was asleep, and said, I just decided to go. So I called, and anyway, I said, so how are you going to pay for this? She said, well, I borrowed my daddy's credit card, and she pulled a card out and showed me. And so anyway, as I got on the radio and called the communications center, and I said, if you get a report of a missing child in this area, I said, I have her with me. And when I said that, she was sitting in the passenger seat, and she said, oh no sir, I'm not lost. I'm not missing. I know where I am. I'm just going to buy this doll. So anyway, we were able to reunite her with her dad, and it all had a good ending. And that was the main thing, that it had a good ending. But she was, she was ready to go get that doll.
What a great story! You were at the right place at the right time on that one.
Right place at the right time. I've been very blessed, and still am. And it's been it's a great career. I'd recommend it for anybody. We talked about those 3 vacancies. Once we open up those positions up, if anyone's listening to this, is interested, ever thought about being a firefighter, please come talk to us, because it's a very, very rewarding career, and feel like it's a blessing just to be able to serve in this role.
Absolutely, a very important career and important to the city. So we appreciate what you do. And I think on that note, we're going to take a look at what's going on here at Station 1. There's a lot of renovation. I'm sure you've heard some of this throughout this podcast today. So let's go see what's going on.
This is our engine 1, the main engine that works out of this station. One of our brush trucks here behind it. The ladder sits here in this bay. It's actually out on an assignment right now.
And this one looks like it goes out often.
One thing, and this is a really unique piece of equipment here. This is the original City of Monroe fire engine. It's a steam engine. It's an 1886 model. City bought it again in 1886, right after the original Union County Courthouse was built. We've actually got a copy of the council minutes when they purchased this. It's a Silsby steam engine. Mm-hmm. So it operated by coal. We're trying to do some renovations on it. As you see, the front wheels have been repainted. The back wheels are currently off. They're actually being repainted now. But has a firebox on the back, and then this is a boiler. Of course, it was horse-drawn. So basically, when the firefighters would have a fire call, they would bring the horses, which it was stationed at the old station, which is right up behind where the old city hall is. They're on Hayne at Jefferson. They would hitch the horses. They would light a fire in the boiler. They would respond to the fire. Of course, the fire in the wood box would heat up the water in the boiler, which would create steam, would turn the steam engine, which would turn the pump to pump water for the fire. So quite a piece of history there. Some of our older viewers may remember this is the steam engine that used to sit over what's now Don Griffin Park. Was originally called J.C. Park because the J.C.'s had this in a display case right there on Skyway Drive.
Oh,
and
really?
So we were able to bring it back here several years ago, and our goal is to maintain it and eventually completely restore it, because again, it is certainly a big piece of the history, not just the fire department, but a history of the city.
Absolutely. It'll be a nice display somewhere.
Absolutely,
for sure.
it will.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Okay.
So we'll walk back to then. We'll go through the kitchen area here and start seeing some of the renovations. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. So right into the kitchen.
So really, as far as the renovations, what was done in here, the refreshing, was a new floor and new ceiling tiles and painting throughout. Kitchens are really important to fire stations. Obviously, the firefighters cook here. Again, they're here 24 hours a day, so they cook here, eat meals here together, and that's a big part of the firehouse tradition and that type of thing. So this table is unique. One of our firefighters built that.
Oh, this is amazing.
Walnuts, made out of walnut, and one of our firefighters, Firefighter Joe Rampy, actually built that before he retired, and
nice.
built it for the station here.
And it seats how many? What, 12?
I believe it's 10.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, seats 10.
Now,
see
what
the
about
patches?
these?
Yeah, the patches around the top. One thing that fire departments, firefighters like to do is collect patches, like the patches we wear. So these are patches that different firefighters here at this station have collected from different departments, different states. They may see them, run into other firefighters at conferences or meetings or training classes or whatever the case may be, and we'll trade those patches with them.
That's cool. Do all of your fire stations put those up?
Most of them do. Yes,
Oh, I
I
guess.
think really probably everyone has some level of a patch collection.
Nice display, very nice.
Exactly. So we'll go back into the office area. This painting still coming in here. It hasn't been painted yet. There has been new floor covering put down.
And what is this room going to be?
So this was serving as our exercise room. It's actually we're gonna turn it into an office. We're gonna move the exercise room to another room. But this one still has to be painted. They do have new flooring down in here. And again, these hallways are really cluttered, just because things have been moved out.
Renovation.
This room has just been completed with new flooring, new paint, new ceiling tiles. Of course, we've still got to move the desk. We've got kind of a temporary workstation set up, because one thing with this refresh, I mean, we're still in operation. So we've got 9 firefighters that are still working out of here every day. They're on their normal daily duties and all their administrative duties, plus responding to calls. We've got
Yes.
this temporary station
See that.
set up here. We'll go back here to the training area. This is again one of the offices. Again, have a temporary setup there so they can continue to operate. Again, the same thing: flooring, painting, ceiling tiles.
Pretty much the same color scheme.
There's still some work going on in here. This is what we refer to as a day room. Basically, where firefighters can have some downtime, that type of thing. Now, this one, a little different paint, kind of to tie in with the theme in the kitchen, the red, and really a lot of the things around the wall that you see that are here. Some old helmets, old tags, old pieces of firefighting equipment, those kind of things. One of the old original air packs back from the public safety days. I mentioned earlier that Monroe ran the ambulance service countywide. Actually, those the emblems you see there, that Monroe Union County Ambulance and Rescue, that was some of the old units back from the past there. A lot of work already done, and has already made a tremendous difference. And we're looking forward to everything being finished up. So it's really just really a night and day difference.
It really is already, so and it's not even really quite complete yet. And then you're going to have all of the downstairs, so that's going to give you a whole lot of space, and much needed space for all the logistics and the rooms that you need to have because this is your house. You're right, it is a firehouse.
That's right.
So very impressive, very nice. Can't wait to see the finished product.
I can't either.
Thank you so much for giving us this tour and to see all the renovations and the things that are going to happen here at Fire Station 1, which is right below City Hall. So thank you for that, and more to come.